Hello, this is Kevin from Create Curriculum, and today we are looking at standard-based assessments and rubrics. Our first step is going to be to gather standards. Now you want to take a look at what you want to deal with. Now for these, you can gather more than you need, or if you know exactly what you're going with, you can grab those few. But I grabbed a bunch here. I knew I wanted to look at, for this one specifically, informational writing piece. So I knew I wanted to look at this integrating, evaluating multiple sources. I knew I wanted to look at also here for writing, the different parts for this English curriculum. So I gathered all the ones I thought I wanted, and we're going to dive through, we're going to read through them first, and then we are going to start deciding which ones we want to focus on. Once you have your standards together, you're going to want to put them onto a rubric. I kind of just made a basic one here. I just kind of starting here with this 3, 2, and 1. I know here I put them on. I'll be combining these eventually, but with these I wanted to just put them in just to kind of give me a place to go from, because I want to make sure that what I'm grading is actually standard based, so I'm covering what I'm supposed to and what I have to. Once you have them on here, we're going to start merging and narrowing down those standards based on category. I've gone through and I've added some categories to these, looking at the standards, kind of getting a general idea of what I could put here for a category or topic for each of these parts of the rubric. And I've gathered ones together here, ones that have to do with sources, some research as well. So researching and sources. I know here I want to have to do something with introduction, organization, inclusion of additional elements. So with these, I've taken them and I'm looking for things that I can match together. Some of these I decided I wasn't going to do. For example, I thought not this assessment, the audience is kids, so students may choose not to be formal, because this was talking about style here. So I decided probably not for this one. I'll get to it later in the year, but it's a thing that I thought about, but I'm not going to end up doing. I have these ones also as well. Didn't really fit for this assignment, but I put them on just in case, and it's okay to get rid of them. That's fine. You got to figure out what's best, and it's not always best to include a bunch of different standards, because you want to be able to focus on some. I've got the standards, and I want to turn them into parts of the rubric and combine them, narrow them down even more, kind of put them over here so I can work on rewording them later. I moved some things around. I made sure I put where things were. I didn't do that for all of them, but some of them I combined, and that was kind of part I wanted to include with that. I have also here other ones I added in that I thought, oh, I could use this informational writing one that I wasn't going to use before. I put in because I know that with the purpose, they have to know about the topic for that. Now I'm taking a look at this as I reword it. We combined some things. Notice I had introduction and inclusion together here before. They were separate. Also, I'm rewording them to make it so it's actually student friendly and focused on the student with this. Instead of the standard, I put specifically for the assignment, pamphlet includes some of these, and I've specifically condensed them. I don't want too many parts of this rubric. I ended up with 7 different parts. I initially thought here I wanted to have 3 just as I got started, but I'm going to end up layering these and figuring out what the other parts, the other levels here of the rubric are going to be. But this is just my basic part here for now. This is the final product, what it ended up looking like. Notice how I went with those standards, and now I've combined some. I've rearranged a few. I wanted this task, purpose, and audience to be first because I wanted to make sure the students knew that that was what they were focusing on overall, because that's going to help everything fall into place. With that, notice here for each of these, I've kind of cascaded them down. Starting here, pamphlet is written for the boys and Lord of the Flies and addresses specific topics to help them in the situation. Generic topics, some survival issues, noticing I'm getting a little less and less specific here, and I do that with each of them. And it's very important when you're making rubrics to have those levels. Sometimes you're going to be specific with a number, sometimes you might just do all, most, some, and few. It just depends on what you're working with, but you are going to want to give some examples in what you do. Thank you for joining me today. We're looking at how to make standard-based rubrics and also assessments. It's very important to go with those standards from the beginning to make sure you're covering them and teaching students the skills that they hold. Make sure to like, subscribe, and comment, and happy teaching.